if you can't talk to me about finances, you can't be with me.
Ooh, wait a minute. Mic drop. Mic drop.
I know, like, for a lot of people, it's very sacred.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel like it should be that way. I feel like that you should be open and honest about your finances. Like, I have my group of friends.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably one of the main conversations we talk about, like, day to day. We're always talking about finances. We're piggybacking off of decisions that we're making financially. We're talking about the raises that we're getting, the bonuses that we're getting, if we're signing new jobs. Like,
but you know that's not normal, right? That's not normal in our community. It definitely should be. But
it should be. So, also with, I was telling you about my YouTube channel.
Yes.
I started a budgeting segment on it.
What?
I necessarily didn't put my pay out there, but I budgeted my checks every single time on YouTube for everyone to see. Like, that's how open I am. Because I want people to be open and honest about their finances, especially in a relationship, because if you don't know what your significant other is doing, like, that can take a toll on your relationship, and that is one of the #1 reasons for divorce.
I completely agree. I was taught what goes on in this house, stay in this house. So, but I agree with everything you're saying. It's just not a conversation that we're used to having, especially being black, being women. The men were usually the ones handling they would handle the finances, but I feel like Big Mama or whoever the matriarch was would really handle the finances. So is he receptive to those conversations too? Like, was it an easy conversation to have?
It was definitely an easy conversation because I feel like that he had his ducks in a row. So it wasn't like, hey, I'm in a bunch of debt.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing with my money and everything like that. Because when I met him, he also owned a home.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I'm like, oh yes, I
hit the jackpot.
Yes. Like someone just as determined as me, has pretty much financial stability. That's what I want.
Was there a list that you had that he like checked some boxes on, or did you say Sierra's prayer? Like, I'm trying to figure out how this came. Like, y'all two mentally, like, to be in that space, to mentally make those decisions, and then now to be married is a blueprint. Like, I love this for y'all. And I think I saw his picture on your Instagram. Y'all are a really good looking couple. And your baby is freaking beautiful. So, like, okay, let's get into the entrepreneurship part. Because how did that come about?
So before I moved in with him, I found a job up there. So now I'm at a wastewater company. So, so I'm there now. That's when I got my CPA. After I started that job in 2019. It was, I think, a year after I started. That's when I started to study for my CPA again. I was like, I need to, at least understand the job and, get a good grip on it before I start focusing on something else. So then that's when I started, to focus on my CPA, and I got that. That was a journey in itself. If you do want to hear about that, I do have my journey on my YouTube channel. It is at Pretty Road Plans. I think that is still the name. I don't post it in more videos, but those are there for you all to see. And in the midst of that, I found out I was pregnant. So at first I'm like, okay. I was timing it all out. You have to pass all 3 parts of your CPA within 18 months. So your 18 months start once you pass the first exam. So I passed the first exam. I think I found out that I was pregnant going into my second. I believe it was. So I'm like, I have 9 months to finish these next 2.
Wow. So you cut the time in half.
It was 9 months. It was the whole 18 months.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think like into 9 months into it or 10 months into it is when I thought I was pregnant.
Okay.
Because I think the first one, I studied for that first exam for like 6 months. Like, I was like, I'm not gonna finish
this. You're like, we're not doing this again. This it. So is it like is it a book that you studied?
Those books, so the first test, I want to say the book was probably about this.
Oh, wow, that's big, dang.
The other books weren't so big. So the first one is called financial management.
Okay.
It's called FAR. And everyone was ranting about how hard that one was. I'm like, okay, so let me get the hard one out
the way.
Yes.
Right.
I can get the hard one out, then we can just get through the rest.
We can figure out the rest.
But that wasn't the case for me. I felt like for me, FAR was one of the easiest.
Really?
Yes.
What, like, is it, so did they feel like it was the hardest because it's like the basic concepts? Because I know when you get into the basics of accounting, it can go very deep. Yeah. Like, not necessarily wide, but you can go deep.
You can go deep and you can go wide.
Okay.
And that's why there's 4 parts. There's so many different types of accounting that you can do. And I think that's why there's 4 parts to it. And this was more so the financial aspect of it, just knowing your numbers, doing journal entries, understanding financial statements, all of that. That's what I love.
Wow.
I love that part of it. So I felt like that was easy for me. I loved math growing up. I loved algebra. I loved calculus. Like, I loved it all. And, like, that kind of spoke my language.
Yeah, it's passion. It's a passion for me.
And then I think next I took the audit one. The audit one wasn't too bad. That was more so on the easy side, too. Now, the last 2. Regulation, which is tax. They were a little bit harder. It's just knowing all of the tax laws.
Which changed so often.
They changed, yes. I think that book, they would send out like updates all the time because you had to know what was, the new updated laws. So that was that one, and BEC, which is kind of like economics. Those were the struggle. Everybody told me that BEC would be the easiest. I took BEC 4 times.
What? Wow. And you said it's the economics portion of it.
Yeah, I hated economics in college. So it made sense. And then
very on brand.
That, and then I was kind of like pushing because I wanted to get it done before I gave birth.
Right.
And that didn't happen. I ended up having to go through it with a newborn.
Wow. How, so the balance, because it's like you got your new baby and it's all of these emotions. There's like, you gotta get the quickening where you feel like you gotta prepare for the baby, and then she's here, but you're also in entrepreneur mode. Not even entrepreneur, but like CPA mode.
CPA mode. It was very difficult. So I did take a break once I gave birth. My maternity leave was 3 months. I think that I took the whole 3 months of my maternity leave, and the 2 months I just spent being a mom. My main focus was my kid. And I'm like, once, you get into the groove of things, then I'll pick it back up. So, month 3, I picked it back up, and I'm like, all right, this is the last try. If I don't pass it this time, then I lose all my credits and have to start back all over.
Start back all over, meaning that you have to take the test over?
So if you don't take all 4 tests within those 18 months, so that first FAR test that I took, I would have lost that credit.
What?
So then I would have only had audit and regulation.
Wow.
So I was like, I have to pass this one because I worked this hard to just give it all up. So
I was not